Answer me, Ivy. Why don't you want Sam to see Ethan's birth records?
Eve, I am begging you. Please, just change the birth records to show that Ethan was born prematurely.
Why should I do anything for you? You who have been blackmailing me for months.
Yes, and I can still ruin you if you don't do as I ask.
Wait a minute. Now, you said you had something on Sam that would bind him to you, so powerful that he would leave Grace. Oh, it's Ethan, isn't it? But what does Sam have to do with Ethan? Oh my God. Ethan isn't a Crane? Ethan Bennett's son!
Keep your voice down.
I don't care who hears me. If it's true, Sam needs to be told.
No!
I am not going to keep this from Sam, Ivy. I am going to tell Sam that Ethan is his son.
Eve, look. Sam knows that Ethan was born 9 months after he and I slept together. I told him that Ethan was premature so he would think that Ethan was Julian's son. If he sees those birth records, he's going to know that Ethan was full term. Please, just change the records to show that Ethan was born prematurely.
So you admit it. Ethan is Sam's son. How could you have kept this from him all these years, Ivy?
Oh, I would have kept it from him forever if I hadn't lost my mind. Oh, I wanted Sam so badly. I thought that if he knew we had a child together, he'd want me back in his life.
You know, Ivy, that is all beside the point. Sam deserves to know that he has another son.
But I wasn't thinking clearly, Eve. Really, you know, I tried everything to get Sam away from Grace, and nothing worked. And when I thought I was gonna die, I just blurted out the truth.
Yes, so now you're trying to take your foot out of your mouth.
Ethan's grandfather just said that he was going to bypass Julian and make Ethan head of the Crane Empire. Eve, I cannot take Ethan's life away from him. If he's exposed as Sam's son, he will inherit nothing. I won't allow that to happen, Eve, please. Please, just change the records to show that Ethan was born prematurely. If not for me, then please do it for Ethan.
I don't want to hurt Ethan, but you've already told Sam the truth.
But I denied it. I told him I was delirious from the cut on my head. I'm not sure Sam was convinced, and I am sure he is going to try to find out the truth. And if he sees those records, he'll know that Ethan was conceived when we slept together on my wedding night.
Your wedding night?
Yes. Yes, and don't look at me like I'm dirt. It was an arranged marriage, and I was prepared to be a good, dutiful wife until I overheard Julian tell him, Alistair, that he didn't love me. So I ran back to Sam, and I would have stayed with him forever, but my father forced me to go back to Julian.
And you were already pregnant with Sam's child.
How could I tell him the truth? I'd already broken his heart, and I knew he hated me. So I just let Julian think that Ethan was his son. Having Ethan inherit everything. That's my revenge on the entire Crane family.
This is a nightmare, Ivy.
And you can make it all go away, Eve, by changing one little thing on the birth certificate, and nobody ever has to know the truth.
I'll know the truth, Ivy. I will know that I kept Sam from knowing that Ethan is his son, and that I kept Ethan from knowing his father. I can't do that.
You have to help me, Eve.
You blackmailed me into trying to get Sam away from Grace, into betraying my best friend, but this is going too far, Ivy. You can't do this to your own son. You have to do what's right. Ethan deserves to know that he is a Bennett, and if you won't tell him,
Eve, I don't think you understand exactly what's at stake. If the enormous power and prestige of the Crane dynasty weren't about to be handed over to Ethan, maybe, just maybe, I would be tempted to tell him the truth. But I have suffered for years married to a man I loathe. All for Ethan, all so that he could be heir.
Is it right to play God? I believe it's a sin.
Who are you to talk? You won't even admit that Chad is your son.
Chad is not my son, Ivy. How many times do I have to tell you that my son died right after he was born?
I am warning you, Eve. If you tell Sam about Ethan, then I am going to have to tell your daughters exactly what you are. A cheap slut who slept with Julian and had a child with him. Someone's coming.
Sam!
Well, this is a surprise. I didn't expect anyone to be here, Eve.
I'm just looking up some records. Sam, what are you doing here?
Oh, I need to look up a record, too.
This official police business?
No, it's personal. I need to see Ethan Crane's birth records.
Ethan Crane's birth records. Why?
Ivy told me something crazy. Something unbelievable, and it's been nagging at me, so I wanted to log on the computer and check it out. Do you mind?
Well, Sam, the computerized files don't go back that far. Ethan Crane's files would still be in a file folder.
Oh, wow. Huh. I wouldn't know where to start. Think you could help me out?
Well, Sam, you know, these files are confidential.
I realize that. But you're a doctor with access. Do you think you could look at the file for me?
Yeah, I suppose I could do that.
Thanks, Eve.
Here it is. So what is it you need to know, Sam?
I need to know if Ethan was born prematurely. Am I right in assuming that these birth records will show if Ethan was born premature or not?
Yes. I mean, if he was, it'll be in here.
What does it say?
Well, from what I can see,
Yeah?
Ethan was born prematurely.
Ethan is not my son.
Your son?
Look, I know I can talk to you about this, just you and me, right? I already told TC about it.
TC never mentioned anything to me.
Yeah, well, he wouldn't. When Ivy and I were out in the ocean fighting for our lives, she told me that Ethan was my son. And I believed her.
Did you?
Yeah. But, then she denied it. So I had to check it out for myself. If Ethan was born premature, then he wouldn't be my son.
How do you feel about that, Sam?
So, in a way, I guess I was a little disappointed.
You mean you would have wanted Ethan to be your son?
In a way, part of me kind of hoped I had another son. But I guess it's just as well it's not true. I don't know what I would have done to Ivy if it were. You have no idea how evil that woman is, Eve.
No. Well, I guess there isn't any reason to mention this to Grace since it isn't true.
Thanks. I'd appreciate it. Well, thanks, and good night.
Thank you for not telling Sam.
You bitch. I didn't lie for you. I did it to protect my children.
I only asked you to lie for my son.
I hope Sam keeps digging until he finds the truth. And when he and Ethan are reunited, I hope that they both hate and despise you.
Well, that's not going to happen now that Sam is convinced Ethan was premature.